Hey guys, it's Austin Doctor here, and I'm here to, for some reason I find myself doing this a lot, even with Darlene and the Franks, to correct all the wrong on the internet with DxD. Now, I've seen so many videos about DxD Season 5 being cancelled, and as you can see in the title, DxD Season 5 is not cancelled. And people are using those titles just to grab your attention, obviously. And when you really watch the video, you can tell their sources aren't very reliable. And I was watching Hex's video, and he even called that out, and quite impressed actually with that. But this whole season 5 being canceled has never been mentioned by the author himself. And I think everyone that is jumping onto this train is listening to one, wiki page or Instagram page, because I know a few Instagram pages have been posting nonsense and stuff that isn't very true, and I'm going to clear some things up. First things first, I want to clear up with the EX novels where Issei has his kids. That's not canon. If you don't know, and I know some people think it's canon, it isn't. The author has actually said that before. I think he said it at the festival, if I'm not mistaken, either this year's or last year's. But anyways, going to the whole season 5 thing, and if you are a true DxD like OG, you've been watching it from the start, or if you were actually like fascinated with DxD, you love it and you want to know everything about it, like me, both actually sides are true with that. When I started watching DxD my freshman year in high school, quite an interesting intro to high school if you ask me. But yeah, so it takes 3 years, 3 to 2 years, well mostly it's 2 years for another season, and it's only been barely a year. So calm down. I know you want another season, I want another season, but I don't want to rush it to the point that it's going to be like Overlord season 3. That was awful, I'm not gonna lie. The animation just went down the drain, and that's why I'm kind of happy that the author sticks to himself. And at the end of the day, the author is a human being. He is working on other stuff. He needs breathing room, and when an anime goes on, especially with DxD, he actually is required to be there to kind of help direct it with the director. And this is why I'm happy. As I said, it takes years to kind of make it the way it is, and DxD is pretty good. I mean, the hero was amazing, honestly. And going to what the author talked about during the festival, he was talking about how fun it was to do Hero, season 4, and how he's working on Slash Dog, which is his other spin-off series. It doesn't have Issei in it, but it's in the DxD universe. Quite an interesting light novel to read. I recommend picking up if you like DxD. And his new series that I know everyone has heard about probably by now is the aftermath of Ria's going to college and Issei going to the same school. I'm not 100% on the new thing because I haven't really touched it yet. I'm probably going to after telling and doing this video. But basically it's Issei, Kiba, Kaneko, Zenobia, and Azia minus Akano and Rias kind of fending for themselves. And I'm trying to say that without spoiling much. I hope you do know, because I don't want to spoil it for you, because at the end of the day, you should be enjoying this series as much as anyone else. That's kind of how I do my videos with certain reviews if I have read ahead, so a little heads up with that. But people are just jumping the gun and assuming that we don't have another season. And the only thing I'm shocked about is no OVA announcement. Then again, we did have episode 0 to rectify what TNK did wrong, and as I said, maybe an OVA will be announced, but I don't see a Season 5 being announced. It's too soon. It's too sudden. I mean, give the man a break. He needs to do other things. DxD is his primary thing, but he's a human after all. We don't want to work him down to the bone like, the writer for Naruto. That poor man, I've heard stories about him. I'm so happy he actually got the time he needed finally. But just remember, there's a human being behind this series. But anyways, I'm going to talk about something that's a very controversial subject, and it's about DxD doing bad. And I've seen some videos saying, oh, it did bad because I didn't like the animation outright, kind of like that. And no, it didn't do bad. It's doing extremely well, actually, a lot better than the author thought. And he does talk about it on Twitter quite a bit. And he does talk about the new merchandise and how there's more fans, and he appreciates the foreign fans now. Well, he always has, but DxD has grown to be a bigger thing now, and he sees that and he's happy. People are buying the Blu-rays. I mean, the cover art for the Blu-rays are beautiful, and the new merchandise is cool. And it's interesting to see DxD turn out to be, having females. And I personally, I know this sounds a bit mean, but I didn't think females would have any interest in it because, it's fan service stuff. When I think about that kind of stuff. But then again, I know a couple girls that actually would enjoy it. But it's a big shock to see, that happen. For DxD to get into that kind of like demographic, when you think ecchi, you think male only, and it's just very amazing to see this happen, and I'm just like really happy to hear about that. And if you want a little cool factoid, you know what the best-selling character in Japan is for DxD? It's not much of a surprise, but it's Kaneko. When I heard that, I'm like, of course the cat would be the best-selling thing, but it's amazing. And where am I basing this off? Go to the author's Twitter. I'm just being real. Just go to his Twitter if you want to know most of the information, because he talks about it, and he's honestly a really cool guy, because he talks about everything. I mean, everything. Video games, movies, anime. He's a fan of anime and video games just like us. That's why I said it. There's a human being behind this. So calm down a bit. Now, I know I'm going to address the whole thing about how the rumors are going around that the art style is switching and the studio too. No, that's not happening. Passion made their money off of it. Very well off with it. And the new art style, I know people are very upset about it, but you have to remember, most of you that are probably coming to DxD have watched the Blu-ray version, which, if you don't know the difference between Blu-ray and the raw footage, they actually take time to correct everything that was in the raw footage. That's why when animes come out with bad animation, I know Super is one of them that has been rectified, and it's a while ago. And that's why I tell people, yes, there's certain things that may be a little off, but I think the animation was 10 out of 10. And to say it doesn't fit DxD's true being is kind of stupid to say, because that's how the manga looks. If you actually picked it up or read the light novel. I know certain light novel pictures kind of have that sharp image, but that's usually a different artist half the time. But pick up the manga. I recommend it. I like the manga. It actually has quite a bit scenes that were cut out from certain parts of the TNK production of it, but of course you can buy it. I know most of you are going to read it online because you don't want to buy it, but I'm not going to say anything about that when I understand. Not all of us have money to spend like that. But let's talk about TNK. Everyone's like, oh, TNK should go back to doing it. And it's kind of insulting to say that, because TNK actually wanted to end DxD. If you didn't know, they didn't want to continue it. And they gave the author such a really rough time because they messed up the story on the Born. And even though Born was actually pretty good still, it's just Loki wasn't supposed to be there right away like that, and they weren't supposed to fight Loki like that, and that there's a lot of mistakes going on with that. That's why it didn't go well. And it's just, with Loki showing up and having them fight him right away and making him banish is a bit crazy, to say the least. But going on with TNK, and if you don't know, TNK is actually borderline bankrupt, and I want to say it's because they dropped DxD, and to be honest, DxD was a big moneymaker, even though they have Senra Kagura. If you don't know, they produce Senra Kagura, and it's just, don't insult the author that way, because you should know, they didn't want to continue it. They didn't see any value in it. So that's why I'm very rough when it comes to, oh, we should have TNK's art style. And yes, we can definitely have, Passion steal TNK's art style, and there definitely wouldn't be any legal issues. Remember, anime is a very big business in Japan, and look at the No Game No Life controversy, even though it's actually been proven to be false. Remember that. It's someone's drawing at the end of the day, but it's just amazing to see how big DxD's gotten over the years, and this whole stir of DxD Season 5 being cancelled is kind of annoying, because he didn't talk about it. He talked about Hero. And he knows the fans that have been there since the beginning know that it takes 2 to 3 years for a new season. They just don't come out back to back. Passion has other animes to do at the end of the day, and I'm happy, as I said. I like when animes give themselves a breather because it makes a better season. Unless it's Blue Exorcist, and we won't go there. But as I said, don't worry. Season 5 isn't canceled. You can't cancel something that hasn't been announced. Remember that. And I know I'm very disappointed with certain channels saying that because they have been, and I'm going to use the whole title of being truthful with you guys. That's why I wanted to use that title, but I do hope this kind of helped you out, and do share this video to get the word out, because people need to stop buying into the random stuff that you see on YouTube. And I'm always going to try to give you my 100% truth on stuff with certain things, and of course I'll have theories for different anime series. But anyways, this is DxD, and don't worry, everything's going to be alright, okay? If it does get canceled, I'll tell you, but for now there has not been any words on that. DxD doesn't have any word on an OVA, so let's hope maybe in the next festival that I think is about in January, if I'm not mistaken, something will be announced. I'll be there to tell you, kind of thing. But anyways, guys, I do hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you until the next time. This is Austin Doctor, signing out. Peace.